just got gifted a precious bearded dragon, but my old tank was way too messy. So I decided to build a brand new habitat for my little Aussie dragon. See? It looked absolutely terrible. I spent quite a while just thinking about what to do next. It wasn't easy at all. Alright, let's talk about the old tank. It was disgusting. I mean, seriously, dried poop in the corners, dead bugs stuck to the glass, leftover food from who knows when. The water bowl had turned into some kind of science experiment. I knew I couldn't just add new stuff on top of that mess. So, I rolled up my sleeves and got to work. First, I took everything out. Rocks, branches, decor, all covered in dust and gunk. I threw most of it away. No regrets. Then came the scrubbing. I grabbed hot water, some reptile-safe cleaner, and went full-on cleaning mode. Glass walls, corners, every inch had to shine. I even had to scrape off old dried calcium stains. Fun times. It took me over an hour, but by the end, it looked brand new. Clean tank, clean start. My little dragon deserves nothing less. So, my first instinct was to use silicone. You know, the kind people use for aquariums or ceiling sinks. I figured it'd be perfect for gluing down the plants and soil. Quick, clean, easy. Well, I was wrong. So wrong. The silicone just wouldn't stick to the loose soil. I'd press a plant in place, wait, let go, and BOP. It'd fall right over like it had better things to do. The soil clumped weirdly, the glue took forever to cure, and worst of all, everything smelled like a freshly renovated bathroom. I tried holding pieces down for minutes at a time like some kind of human clamp. Still didn't work. Honestly, it was more of a bonding moment between my fingers and the silicone than between the tank and the decor. After a few hours of frustration, I accepted the truth. Silicone just wasn't it. Not for this job. Not today. So after wasting time, energy, and probably a few brain cells on silicone, I switched to plan B, expanding foam. And let me tell you, this was the move. The foam came out weird at first, like shaving cream with attitude, but once I got the hang of it, it was actually kind of fun. I sprayed it onto the back and base of the tank, shaping little hills, ridges, and anchor points for plants. Unlike silicone, this stuff actually held its shape. It expanded, filled gaps, and once it dried, it was rock solid. I carved it down with a knife to get the texture I wanted, then coated it with a mix of glue and soil to give it that natural earthy look. Best part? The plants stayed in place. No more falling over. No more bathroom smells. Just a clean, sturdy layout ready for my Dragon King to reign over. Once the foam set and the base was ready, I went absolutely crazy with the decorations. Like, no holding back. I dumped in soil, packed in driftwood, stacked rocks like I was building a mini mountain range. Then came the plants, fake ones, real ones, ones I wasn't even sure were for reptiles. I just shoved them in wherever they looked good. And of course, the pièce de résistance, a plaster skull. Because nothing says bearded dragon kingdom like a dramatic skull centerpiece. Every inch of that tank had to feel alive, like a slice of the outback, or maybe some lost jungle temple. I didn't stop until it looked like my little dragon could go on a full-blown adventure just walking from one side to the other. Was it overkill? Maybe. But hey, if you're gonna redecorate, go big or go home. And finally, the moment of truth. After hours of cleaning, carving, gluing, foaming, and decorating like a man possessed, it was time to welcome the new king to his kingdom. I gently picked up my little bearded dragon, who at this point had been chilling in a temporary box like, "Yo, what's taking so long?" And slowly, I placed him into the tank. At first, he froze, probably thinking,
"Oh wow!
Wait, this isn't my old crusty box of doom." Then, slowly, he started moving. One claw, then the next. He stepped onto the foam ledge, sniffed a plant, climbed over a skull like he owned the place. Which, to be fair, he did. He explored every corner, flicking his tongue, bobbing his head slightly like a true explorer. For a moment, he just basked under the warm light I set up, eyes half closed, soaking it all in, like he knew this was his new home. His forever home. Watching him settle in, I felt weirdly proud. Like, I did this. I made this tiny world. For him. And seeing him actually enjoy it. Totally worth every failed attempt, every gluey mess, every grain of dirt under my nails.
Wow.
My tiny dragon just kept cruising around his new kingdom like a curious little explorer. He climbed over branches, peeked behind rocks, and gave suspicious side eyes to the plaster skull, probably wondering if it was alive. He stopped at the basking spot, stretched out like a superstar, soaking in the heat like it was a luxury spa. A few minutes later, he decided to dig a bit into the soil, not sure if he was looking for treasure or just redecorating, but hey, I respect the hustle. He rubbed his belly on the rough bark, probably enjoying the texture, then shuffled over to one of the hides I made and sat there for a while, blinking slowly, like some kind of bearded monk meditating on life. Every now and then, he'd suddenly dart forward like he saw a bug, even though there was nothing there, and then just pause, mid-step, like nope, false alarm. It was like watching a little lizard philosopher pacing through his thoughts. Honestly, just seeing him move around so naturally, so confidently, made me feel like I did something right. This wasn't just a tank anymore, it was his world.
Yummy.
And he was finally home. All in all, my little dragon turned out to be a pretty chill guy. He doesn't throw tantrums, he doesn't freak out, and most of the time he just lounges like he owns the place. Except for one thing. Every now and then, he gets this urge to taste test the plants. Yep, just waddles up, sniffs a leaf, and gives it a little nibble like he's on some kind of jungle cooking show. I keep telling him, buddy, that's not food. That's decor. But he just looks at me like, everything is food if you try hard enough. Luckily, they're all non-toxic, just in case he decides to go full vegan one day. But still, it's kind of his thing now. Exploring, basking, and recreational leaf munching. Of course, aside from the occasional leaf nibbling, he's also a proper little predator. Every time I drop in some food, mealworms, dubia roaches, crickets, it's game on. He spots them instantly, locks in, and boom, tongue out, one hit, one snack. It's like watching a tiny dinosaur in hunting mode.
Konnichiwa.
No Sebastian, no merci.
Within minutes, the bugs are gone. Clean sweep. Like a living vacuum cleaner with scales. I swear, if he had a theme song, it'd be something between Jurassic Park and a spaghetti western. So yeah, he's a sweet, calm little guy, until it's feeding time. Then it's all instinct, precision, and crunch. And sometimes, just to keep me on my toes, he plays hide and seek. Without telling me, of course. One moment he's basking like a good boy, the next, gone. Vanished. Nowhere to be seen. I check under the leaves. Nothing. Behind the rocks. Nope. I start panicking, like, did he escape? Did a hole open in the tank and swallow him? My heart's racing. I'm flipping over everything. And then, there he is. Tucked perfectly behind a chunk of driftwood, squished into a shadow like he's part of the decor. Just staring at me with that blank lizard face like, what's the big deal? Honestly, I think he enjoys it. Watching me freak out while he chills in stealth mode. A true master of hide and stress. But you know what? This little guy's actually kinda wild. I mean, he's not just chilling all day, he's got his own chaotic side. He eats everything. And I don't just mean bugs or plants. If I drop a rock by accident, he'll walk over and give it a lick. Curiosity level, dangerously high. Oh, and when it comes to bugs, he doesn't just eat them, he hunts them. The moment a beetle or roach hits the ground, it's like a switch flips in his brain. He flattens his body, narrows his eyes, and charges like a tiny tank on turbo mode. Sometimes he misses, spins around, and chases again like he's in a high-speed lizard action movie. I swear, It looks like he's going feral, legs flailing, tail whipping, knocking over plants like, I must catch this bug or I will combust. And once he catches it,
Instant crunch. Non merci.
no drama. Just business. The bug never stood a chance. One day, I decided to toss in a few dried leaves, just to give the tank a more natural vibe. You know, forest floor aesthetic, crunchy texture, maybe even a bit of enrichment for the little guy. Turns out, he loved it. Not in the way I expected though. He didn't just walk over them. No, he stomped through them like a dinosaur on a mission. Rustling, digging, rolling. At one point, I swear he tried to camouflage himself in the pile. It made the tank look a little messy, sure, but it also made it feel alive. Like a proper slice of nature. Plus, watching him mess around in a pile of leaves? Easily the highlight of my day. At the end of the day, he's just a little bearded dragon, but to me, he's a tiny king, a living dinosaur, and somehow, a friend. Watching him explore, climb, dig, and just exist in this little world I built for him, it's weirdly calming. He doesn't ask for much. Just warmth, food, a few bugs to chase, and the freedom to be his quirky little self. And honestly, that's enough. So here's to this scaly, bug-eating leaf muncher, the chaos lizard that stole my heart.